and the Punisher rising to the call, fighting for the children, standing tall. Constitution in hand and we're ready to ball. Rights worth protecting for one and all. From the podcast waves to every home, teaching us the power to stand alone. Legal knowledge keeps us in the zone. Fight against CPS so fiercely shown. Stand up USA, don't let them fall. Fighting for our kids, answering the call. Our devotion's strong, we won't stall. Freedom's light will shine proud for all. In every town across this great land, voices united, ready to withstand. From city streets to the desert sand, together we'll take a bold stand. Each parent's heart beats brave and true, following the path paved red, white, blue. Armed with rights we'll push on through, for the innocent lives we must rescue. Stand up USA, don't let them fall. Fighting for our kids, answering the call. Our devotion's strong, we won't stall. Freedom's light will shine proud for all. Each parent's heart beats brave and true, following the path paved red, white, blue. Armed with the rights we'll push on through, for the innocent lives we must rescue. Stand up USA, don't let them fall. Fighting for our kids, answering the call. Our devotion's strong, we won't stall. Freedom's light will shine proud for all. They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids, pictures held up like dim tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are old Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop.
All right. Whew. What a welcoming entrance for you, huh? The queen has arrived, people. The queen is back. She's making her appearance for one show and one show only, and then we'll be back on our Monday, which is Sunday. But she has arrived for this evening.
Hi, everybody. I hope everybody had a good Christmas.
Yes, and there's so many that were awaiting you. You'd be back.
Oh, I'm back. I'm here.
Yes, Mom's in the house now. Vacation is over. The kids need to go. Kids need to go back to their regular schedules and everything. I was just telling Tiff, that's what it felt like. It felt like, of course, with the loss of Carrie, and then with you being gone, it was like a free for all for all of us. Just throwing up shows whenever we want to do them. Everybody's smoking, whatever the hell. But I guess order is back in the chaos.
Well, rules have two meanings, right? To be followed and to be broken.
Facts.
So
we do both.
Yes. So I'm making sure everybody's checking in because I want to see everybody that usually is on here. I'm making sure people are checking in. Everybody's okay. We didn't lose anybody else.
Right. Everything's cool. We're good. Subscribers are still going up. They're not going down. So that's good.
And nobody went to jail.
Right. You didn't lose any kids. We didn't lose jail. No nothing. It's good. The house is still up. No fire. We're good. No imminent danger.
Oh, that's good.
So why don't you tell everybody about your Christmas? Because you know you're going to get asked 1,000 times. Chris already led the way, so now we ask, how was your Christmas?
Well, it was fine. My oldest grandson came in the room at 11 o'clock Christmas Eve and I was asleep. He's like, Yaya. I said, what? He said, Santa came. I said, oh, no. It's too early. We got to go back to sleep. So we got up at 4. Christmas was over by 5:30. And I took every damn thing in my house Christmas down. I'm done. I'm over it.
You know, me and my buddy were just talking about that earlier. We're like, there should be like a 24-hour, 48-hour thing. Like, once Christmas is over, take your damn lights down.
There's only 2 things left. It says Merry Christmas on my door, and I have 2 wreaths outside. But inside my house, you can't even tell we had Christmas in here. By 8:30, my tree was down.
Yeah, except for the kids' rooms now all in disarray because you got to move the old out and get the new in. Oh,
I'm not even cleaning it.
They're at the age that everything's huge too, right? Like you don't get like a little something. Like it's got to be a castle or Lego fort house or whatever the hell they have.
I just walked in their room today. I mean, I go in there all the time, but today I didn't do anything. I literally didn't do anything, and I walked in there and I said, "Oh, damn! Now I gotta buy another toy box."
I'm waiting for the day that one of them come out and be like, "Yeah, you got a warrant." I'm out to hear you saying that. I'm waiting for one of them to be saying that. Yeah, where's your warrant? You come in my room. Come back with a
Well,
warrant, yeah.
well, actually, I taught Kingston his Fourth Amendment rights. And he had the audacity a couple times to say, yeah, you did out my room. I said, oh, when you pay rent here, then you can say this is your room.
Yeah, this is contract law, pal.
I used to tell my kids when they were growing up, they were like, we need privacy. I said, well, sign your first goddamn lease and you'll have all the privacy you want.
That's right. You get money, you can get your own place. Yeah, my dad would be like that with the radio in the car when you go to change the radio station. You make the car payments and you can listen to the radio.
See?
Yeah.
If they're listening to something in the car and I don't want to hear it, I just go on YouTube and play songs because y'all are gonna laugh. But I listen to like Elton John and Barry Manilow and Neil Diamond.
Oh yeah, that's what they consider oldies now, too.
Yeah, of course.
That's not it's no longer.
So anyway, Christmas is over for me. I'm over it. We're going back to regular schedule next week. I will be on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day because I'm too old and I don't do shit anyway. I'm always in bed by 8:30.
Yeah, we're gonna do our countdown. It starts at 7. goes to 8 o'clock with her and it's over. Oh yeah, Jesus Almighty. She got COVID while she was gone.
No. So anyway, what do y'all want to talk about? Hey, Fanny.
I got a pretty good video here that we can play. Actually, it's fine by me. I'm still kind of recovering from the other situations. So, hey, we got our website too that I started building today. So that's good. We'll have that going pretty soon. Hopefully, I'll have a splash page done or something like that in the next couple of days here. Or maybe the whole thing done. Let me see. Where is it? There it is. This
we're gonna have
our friend Herbert.
We're gonna have to start working on our webinar too.
Yep. Yeah, that's holy shit. Time just came and went, didn't it? Like, remember when we were talking about it at the beginning? It seemed like so far away. It was like, Jesus Almighty, we don't even worry about that. Now here it is. We're supposed to already have like these things up and running. I'm blaming that one on Carrie.
But you can blame it on me. You can blame it on me too, because Christmas is the most stressful holiday that I deal with.
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah, but I got 10 little grand creatures, okay? So I got to make sure everything is coordinated and everybody gets their stuff. So it's just, and everybody's spread out. It's just very stressful.
Making it a stress, it's not worth that. You need to call. There's a 988 number. Anybody out there needs that 988. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year round, not just for Christmas. So make sure you guys need help. You call them. All right, check this video out. Here's a little refresher course for all of us, guys. Bring us into this new year.
Carlos Morales. I'm a former child. Hi everyone, my name is Carlos Morales. I'm a former Child Protective Services investigator, and this is the case against and the truth about Child Protective Services. All stats, studies, and resources can be found at truthovercomfort.net. Child Protective Services, also known as CPS, is the name of a governmental agency that responds to reports of child abuse or neglect. To those who are not quite acquainted with the agency, it should be understood that according to CPS and every state in America, the child does not belong to the parent. They actually belong to the state. You see, CPS is actually given the power by law to ignore or reject the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 14th Amendment in their proceedings, which is quite a bit of power, but as long as they're positive results that actually prevent the abuse of kids, then shouldn't they be allowed to do it? Well, what first must be understood is who are these investigators working for CPS. An investigator, first of all, must be able to have an understanding of child development, forensics, training to see if a bruise came from a fall or a punch, a thorough understanding of dispute resolution in order to ensure their safety and the safety of the child, and keen insight into psychology in order to interpret fact from fiction while interviewing parents in hostile situations. In order to gather, develop, and train in all of this information, what would essentially amount to years in college in each particular subject, is all condensed into 2 months of training, much of which is spent being taught that all parents are abusers and the development of an us versus them cultural mentality. Now that's the investigator. Now, on to how a case opens. A call is made to CPS headquarters of an alleged abuse. Now, the caller can be anonymous or they can state their actual name. But due to CPS bylaws, the alleged perpetrator will never be given the name. Those knowledgeable regarding the Constitution may be aware that this is an infringement of the Sixth Amendment. Now, the alleged abuse can be that a parent is allowing a child to play outside, that a child is being homeschooled, that the parent owns a gun legally, that the parent smokes marijuana outside the home, even if the parents are legally allowed to do it, that the child is being taught anti-government sentiment. But sometimes, though this is a rarity, it is for actual abuse. Now, this may seem like an overgeneralization or a straw man, but over 85% of all child removals by CPS are not for physical or sexual abuse. The majority of cases I saw were actually for marijuana use, and this is the majority of cases CPS deals with. So from there, a supervisor reads the report, and then an investigator is sent out to corroborate or disprove the claims. Now, since the state owns the kid and not the parent, the investigator can then go to the child's school or anywhere else the kid is, without letting the parents actually know that the child is about to be questioned by some individual with terrible training. Now, public schools are the go-to for most investigators wanting to find, talk to, or remove a child. The investigator goes to the school, takes the child into a separate room, and asks the child, many times these kids are actually as young as 4, for consent to record the conversation. According to CPS, 4-year-olds are capable of consent and are fully capable of recalling events exactly as they occurred. The investigators barraged the child with a series of questions regarding the sexual promiscuity, drug use, domestic violence, molestation practices, and so on that the parent may or may not be up to. The children generally have very little idea of what the hell is going on in these particular cases, and this has led to a lot of authority issues and to countless false allegations of abuse across America. If you want a perfect demonstration of this, look up the alleged satanic, ritualistic abuse that was rampant in daycares in the 1990s that led to countless daycare workers actually being put behind bars. The only problem in these particular cases, though, was that everything was made up by the caseworkers, then fed to the kids as fact due to the questioning practices, which then led to children's and adults' lives being destroyed. No caseworkers were actually fired in these cases that ended up leaving a lot of individuals' lives being destroyed. Another issue that occurs is what CPS actually considers evidence. Because CPS cases aren't just based on what happened yesterday and actually viewed by someone. They can be based off of something that happened 2 years ago, and not even something that someone saw firsthand. The agency actually uses evidence that is based off the memory off the story stated that someone else overheard a year ago. That investigator, who is actually told to not copy the information word for word, but instead take small notes and then use their own judgment to place that information into a database in narrative form, as in they are told to create a story based off their own memory. This is considered evidence that is strong enough for a court case. And this all gets even more shaky when you realize that in between every time that story is told, biases and false recollections are planted in every time. There's a very simple kids game that demonstrates this, and it's called the telephone game. One person tells another person a simple 5 to 10 word statement, and that message is transferred about 10 times from person to person in the same room within under a minute. And then the last person who heard the message repeats it. that last person always has a completely different story than the original message, and that was just in under a minute. Now imagine this on a larger scale, but instead of an insightful giggle, it leads to the destruction of a family. What makes this telephone game even worse is that the adults playing it have their own incentives to fabricate. For instance, divorce cases, custody cases, teacher-parent conflicts, and neighbor conflicts can all be won or lost if someone simply makes up one false allegation of abuse. Even if the allegation is proven false, the individual alleging the abuse is not discredited in later cases. And the children, well, they're left scarred by questioning practices and unethical practices, and the names of the parents are left permanently recorded into a database, along with, in many cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent in court cases that is never given back to the parents. And now, speaking of money in court, what happens and what keeps cranking this wretched agency along is financial incentives. Now, CPS is allotted more money by the state for every allegation that is made, whether it is proven to be true or proven to be false. In states like Texas, they can be given up to $6,000 to $10,000 for every removal of a child. Now, of course, defense attorneys and judges are also subsidized for every child that is put through the ringer, also known as the system, and foster homes are propped up as well. See, foster homes are actually granted more money for every disability a child has. Disability doesn't just mean they're crippled, it can also mean that the child has oppositional defiant disorder, mood swings, ADHD, insomnia, and anger issues, all of which are generally the byproduct of a terrible environment. But instead of fixing the environment, the foster home is actually given a bonus, which then leads to, 6-year-olds being put on 6 different types of psychotropic drugs. This is just one of the issues in foster homes. Presently, there are 397,000 children out of home care, and in foster homes, foster kids are 7 to 8 times more likely to be abused than children in normal households. Nearly half will end up homeless after they age out. They are also 3 times more likely to be put on psychotropic drugs due to the financial incentives already discussed. They're 7 times more likely to develop an eating disorder. They are more likely to have post-traumatic stress disorder than veterans of war and less likely to recover from that PTSD. They are more likely to become pregnant as a teenager than similarly abused kids, and are 6 times more likely to die than if they stayed in an abusive household. Now, we put it all together. We have an unconstitutional and barbaric agency that gets away with financially incentivized mass removals of kids. 85% of them not being for physical or sexual abuse. You have terribly trained investigators, horrendous evidence gathering practices, families left poor just trying to disprove claims, whole justice systems that are financed through unjust practices, and foster homes that drug and abuse children. Now, that's the truth about Child Protective Services, an agency whose intent is to protect kids. An agency that exemplifies the saying, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." There's a fitting quote by a former dictator that summarizes this injustice. The state must declare the child to be the most precious treasure of the people. As long as the government is perceived as working for the benefit of the children, the people will happily endure almost any curtailment of liberty and almost any deprivation. That dictator, Adolf Hitler. For more information regarding Child Protective Services, foster home, or anything else discussed, go to truthovercomfort.net.
Darren, send me that video.
That done told us the story, didn't it?
Send me that video.
And it's on here. It'll be on here.
What?
Forever.
I know it's on here, but I need you to send me that video.
I'm sending you the video. You're going to do something, right?
I sure am.
I know where it's going.
What?
I know where it's going to go. You're going to send it to who I think you're going to send it to?
I sure am.
Hell yeah.
And you got the email address. You can send it too.
I don't have it.
I gave it to you.
Are you sure?
Send it to you. Anyway, just send it to me and I'll send you their email too. So
You got it.
first,
You
let
already
me
have it.
say, huh?
You've got it.
I see it. So
Send your
first, let
message.
me say, he is absolutely right. They believe, and this is a belief, this is not the truth, that they are above the Constitution. Absolutely not. The President of the United States is not above the Constitution. Neither is a peon CPS worker. Everything he said was true. I don't know how old that video is,
Carlos
but
Morales, he was like the first whistleblower, so I imagine that's probably old. Let me see. 10 years ago.
10 years ago, well, the reports have come out now, and I sent them to Eric. Children are 600 more times to die, be sexually abused, physically and mentally abused in a foster home versus staying in the home where the alleged abuse is.
Yeah, it's crazy about that. All those stats, it's disgusting, and that's why we always talk about the harm of removal. That study by the University of Baltimore says clearly in there, like, leave these kids alone because they're just destroying them by removing them from that situation. Even cases of like not agreeing with this and not condoning it, but minimal abuse, they still should remain in their homes because what is going to happen to them by removing them is way more detrimental than keeping them in their house.
Yeah. Parents and children that are removed, parents and children are committing suicide. They're ending up in prison. They're ending up homeless. It's devastating.
Not to mention, 85% of the kids that the United Nations rescues from sexual trafficking or whatnot, or whatever they call human trafficking, have come through Child Protective Services in the United States. That's their own statistic.
Because runaways might account for some of those, but you're right. Where else are they getting the children? They got to steal them from somebody.
I mean, everybody's just got to look at their state records and find out how much every year there's children missing between foster care and between adoption. Every state will have a number.
Spanny told me, and she's on here. She called me and she said, guess what? I said, what? She said, we had a 2-month-old baby get up and run away. I said, oh, really? Where's the 2-month-old?
Oh, she didn't. Okay. No, it's not good.
The baby was in foster care and a 2-month-old baby ran away. Send her the link there, and I think she's gonna try and get on.
Okay.
And I know they drug these kids up, and I know that every child that has some kind of disability, even if they don't have a disability before they're removed, they have them after they're removed.
Okay, Spanny coming at you.
And the government wants to know why the country's so fucked up. And the last time I checked, there was not a CPS worker when I got pregnant in my room. So no, you don't own shit.
You got the news. God. Um, oh boy. Did you see? You didn't watch anything, did you?
I watched a little bit yesterday when I was talking to you. I was also watching Gunner and Vinny yesterday.
I don't know if you saw the video with my friend Kim Page last night, but no.
Was it past 8 o'clock?
Yeah, well, I noticed that we're getting a lot more people picking on that a little bit later, so we're going to start the nighttime show a little bit later now. Oh wow.
Well, the good thing is, even though they're live, people can just go back and watch them when they find them.
Right. Well, that's where we get a lot of our views from that.
We're even in Canada, Germany, and there was another place. Where else did I tell you we were at?
Poland or something like that.
Yeah, some other country. 3 countries watch us.
Yeah, Arjuna's here right now from Scotland. She's watching us from there.
Hi, Vinny. I wasn't trying to be sneaky. I was just sitting here trying to get my thoughts together, and I came across it on Facebook, so I just said, hey, guys, hope you have a great show and Merry Christmas. See you tomorrow night. That's what I said. Scotland.
Scotland, what did I say?
Yeah. I can't imagine that CPS in other countries are that much different than here. I don't know if Scotland has a constitution and what it says, but I'm pretty sure they're all the same. They all know the same tricks. They all drink from the same water fountain.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, Spanny. Whoops, doing something else here. Spanny, here she comes. She was there. No, there. Spanny, come back. Spanny, come back.
Did she get off?
She was here. I heard her. Saw her. She just went away. Spanny, come. Hey, what'd you guys think of that new song? If you guys heard it at the beginning of the show, what do you guys think of them?
I like it.
That's all that matters. Jury's in. Tiff like.
But my favorite one is the one that you always play.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, there will never be. Oh, okay, Spanny's back. Spanny's back.
Hey!
Yes, I am. I actually got volume this time.
No, I was talking to you.
Yeah, that was the thing, is I had 0 volume control, so that's why I had to go in different. Actually, I had to switch browsers in order to get on.
So what do you have to tell us?
Yeah, that runaway 2-month-old was actually in West Virginia.
Oh, that's where Tiffany's from.
If you don't knock that shit off there, and I swear to God, I will come to Maine.
Yeah,
You see, I'm from West Virginia. It wasn't me. I'll have to pay him bail money for Tiffany.
We have to have one of those little growing pots of that stuff, right?
Yep. So I got a message today from one of our Wicked Warriors people. They let me know that there's a judge that is in jail now, and it looks like he has over 30 indictments on him.
Ooh, who is it? Schaefer?
Oh, I wish, but no, it's a different one. This was out in New York.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. But we'll see if I'm going to end up in an RV in Brittany's parking lot here tomorrow. But yeah.
I sent Darren a case. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
Where somebody sued a judge and actually won. So
yeah, she was asking me.
It's not Spanky, it's Spanny, Tammy.
Hey, thank you.
I get that a lot. But yeah, there's a newer client that you're going to beat your head against the wall on that one. We'll talk about that one later.
Just damn baby.
It's
all the way.
in Ohio, though. It's not West Virginia.
Did they ever find that baby Spanny?
Nope.
The demonic.
It's still listed as a runaway.
Yeah.
It'd be 4 now.
4 years old. It's been 4 years. What, did someone just let this out that the baby has been missing since then? The foster family got caught up getting checks petitioned now?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there, but I was showed it, but I couldn't get the form back because it disappeared.
Very.
I really
it was
wish
a West Virginia child.
I know
that grandparents
Yeah,
and
Tammy.
uncles.
Yeah, I won't respond.
Tammy says she likes her name for you.
Sorry, he just dumped my ashtray all over the bed.
I really wish. I've been in these grandparent groups, right? And I'm looking through some of this stuff. I don't always comment, but there's 2 things that happen. One grandmother said, "Oh, the child was so bad. I sent the child back to foster care." I said, "Why the hell would you do that?" Of course, I never got a response. But then there's other ones in there. She's like, the state won't give us any money because we refuse to contract with them. And I said, "Oh, well, let me tell you about the federal program that says you can collect child only TANF. If they tell you they don't know what you're talking about, contact me and I will personally send you the federal TANF book." So apparently she's contacting them because that's what they don't understand. Social services doesn't want to pay that money to somebody who's not contracted with the state. But it doesn't matter. It's not your fucking money. And that's what pisses me off about them. It's not your money. It's our money. And I tell people this all the time. We are paying these bitches to steal our kids. Are you kidding me?
And then tell us what to do to get them back. On top of it. Yep.
When the police come, they work for us. The judges work for us. Those courthouses, we own those fucking courthouses because we're the ones paying for them. Don't get me started. I've had a stressful week.
Dude, I'm stressed out too. I went from like 3 cigarettes to a pack.
I'm trying. I showed you my vape. I sent you pictures of it.
End of its
I know. I had to go back to this because, the vape's dead.
Oh. But when we do our webinar, this is what people need to understand, right? And I try and tell people the very first words you need to understand and really absorb is all men are created equal, right? And I put women in there too. That means you shouldn't care if the guy or girl has a robe on, a badge on, or a bum in the street. We all have the same rights. And I think if people would really absorb that and really think about that, I think that a lot more change would be coming because, I am counting down the Trump administration because change is coming.
I believe it when I see it.
But you have to have faith, right? And you always have to have hope. That's what keeps me going. I'm telling you, faith and hope.
You're right.
Because I get grinked at for this all the time, but I'm going to tell you again, not everybody can be an advocate.
No. First of all, I've been doing this besides Kim for over 30 years. It is not for the faint of heart. I'm telling you, because Spaney will send me pictures and I will lose my shit.
Yep. It is not for everybody. If you don't have the right mindset, you cannot do this. So there's certain people going around teaching classes on how to be an advocate. But if you can't sit there and look at children being abused every single day or worse, then I don't think you're going to be able to handle it.
I took this this course one time for human trafficking. The first thing that they made you do was watch an actual child be harmed. And that's what you had to do for the first part of that, is watch this. And if you can't stomach that, then you got to be out. You need to have a clear head when you see this stuff. You can't let your emotions get to you. You can't let it. And that was one of the ways that they siphoned through who could stay and who could go. It's the same thing with this stuff.
And I hate to say it, but that's actually a good way.
Like, people need to understand that, like, we joke about this stuff and everything, and we talk about it, but in all reality, this is what's really going on. Is they're stealing our kids. They're selling them. They're selling their body parts. They're selling their blood for adrenochrome. They're doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully one of our kids do get into a foster home when they're taken. Like, maybe that's the best thing that you could possibly hope for, is that your child does get put into a foster home of a loving, caring family. However, if you really look at the statistics and what's going on here, which is why we fight these people, that's not what's happening. The kids that really need the help are not getting the help because they're not sellable items. They're not good enough to be put out on the selling. That's the cold hard fact. That's the reality of this. That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Bloodline. They're trying to insert people's bloodlines. They're trying to, siphon out people. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on with this stuff. It's a lot bigger than just.
And as much as people hate to hear this part, is there's one guy on TV every single day that would actually support what we do, because he completely and 100% backs the fact that CPS is not a good place to be, or family court. And that is Dr. Phil. He's actually moved all the way over to Texas, because he's doing more stuff on family court and trying to get to where people realize family court is corrupt. Once they're in your life, they're never out.
Well, we need to try and get him on our show.
I thought they just found some stuff out about him too, though.
There's going to be stuff about everybody, but unless you can prove that it's true, I wouldn't put it towards that, because even Dr. Phil's for Trump.
Well, you already know anybody who's going up against the system, they're going to talk shit about them and say they've done shit.
Yeah.
To try and discredit them.
They're saying that Elon Musk has done shit too now, because he's for Trump and against a lot of things.
That dude got 12 kids.
Who does, Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's so against the system, because the system actually, and I heard him say this on an interview, the reason he's so against the system and how they're so corrupt is because one of his sons transgendered and he lost him forever.
Yeah, Elon Musk, right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, look at this. Dr. Phil is definitely, holy smokes.
We need to get him on the show there.
I know, I'll get on it. I didn't realize how hip he was on all this stuff. Like, he's, hardcore into this stuff.
Uh-huh. Yes, he is. And, so I got $50 towards saving my house at the moment. I have to leave everything by 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Wow. What really blows me away is that you have helped so many people get their kids back, and I just feel like don't nobody appreciate that and want to contribute to that.
Yeah. I know. Like Herbert was saying, if everybody just pitched in $25, it would be done and over with. But
Well, if I had any money, I would send you some money.
Oh, I want to ask you, Tiffany. You know that. I know you have your gremlins.
If I had the money,
But
Spanny, I would give it to
yeah,
you.
yeah. And at this point, it's just like, do I start talking to her?
Yeah.
But we do have an RV. It's just going to be a very cold RV because we have electrical problems with it that needs to be fixed. And unfortunately, it's not a very towable RV because it's a 38-footer.
They won't help her because
So.
she doesn't have any kids living with her.
Mm-hmm.
But trust me, we've
Yeah.
gone through this.
Yeah, Tiffany's been helping me for a while try to figure out the situation because I've been trying to fight to get on disability. And then Josh is on unemployment until this background check comes back. So right now he's waiting for unemployment to get him back to them. He called today and they're like, we'll call you back. Right.
And this is why one of the reasons I said we need to start charging, right? Because
yeah, I'm working on that. The person that is starting to deal with all the business management stuff for me, I showed you who she was a couple weeks back when I was there in the house. She's going to come up with $300 to get the business license going, and then we'll be actually official. And then we got to franchise it down to you and then up to Darren. So.
And that's why when we do these webinars, we're going to have to charge for them. There's so much information. I mean, I have so much. Darren's got stuff. You have, oh my God. We all just got so much stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My cat's looking at me like, what are you doing? Come on. Come on. He's a baby.
I got kitties all over the place. Ooh.
Mine's mad at me. I had to move her stuff around.
He can actually get in my shoe room now that Santa Claus came.
Yeah, I know. You should have been charging Santa's storage fee.
But I will tell you, this dude gets a lot of catnip because he kills all the critters in my house.
That's a baby. That's your baby grandchild. The one that was born around, now last year.
Oh, I call her Smiles because all she does is smile. I don't care what you say to this baby. She just smiles. It doesn't matter what you say. Love her to death.
A year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody have anything else?
Hey, I put the cash
something about Spanny.
Yeah, he put up something.
The Cash App.
Oh, is that what that is? I can barely see it.
God damn it, you need a laptop, son of a biscuit. I gotta have to mail you one because Santa Claus didn't bring your ass one, did he?
I don't need a laptop.
Well, you need to get bigger glasses and a magnifying glass, something.
She just needs a tablet, something that she can hide because there's kids that will break it. And that's why she hasn't gotten one yet, because her grandmas really will break it. I had to walk her through fixing her phone the other day.
I said it won't let me type in my passcode. She said, what kind of phone is it, Amber? She said, hold the buttons down until it turns off. I'm so smart when it comes to this shit, but when it comes to technology, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta call somebody.
The lights won't come
I'm usually
on.
the one that gets the call.
Switch.
I'm usually the one that gets that call.
Terrible. But like I said, I've been doing this forever, right? So I used to have to go to the law library. I never had to look at this shit up online.
Yeah. And just to let you guys know, if I do not get that 500 tomorrow, I'm going to be unavailable to help anybody for at least a week, because it's going to be a while before I can get that RV situated to where it's livable.
What, Darren?
I just worry about you. If you don't come through with that money and you can't get enough people to draw in on that, you just worry about you. Don't even worry about any of it. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a 13-year-old I'm going to worry about regardless.
Right. Well, I'm just
so, yeah.
I mean, even if people could just send $5, something, you know what I mean? I get that people don't have money to send, but I mean, if everybody could pitch in a little bit, then maybe it will just work out better for someone that's going to put in, you know, the rest of the till, just help out things, you know? So if anybody can do that.
Well, you know, in the summer I tried to take a break, and I don't think I lasted a week, right?
Yeah, you didn't last very long.
I lasted a week before I had to actually start helping people again because I couldn't do it anymore.
Right. Well,
not
that you're asking, but I'll ask for you. Anybody that can help Spanny, please, this is Cash App right here. You can do it, please.
I do have PayPal and Venmo as well. I don't care how I get it at this point, as long as it saves the house. So.
Oh yeah. Well, ladies, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll be back Sunday.
Yeah, I pop in and out all the time, so I'll be around. You know this.
Yes, ma'am. Well, as long as that you do this thing.
Spanny, this is okay.
Yes, Eddie Garrett.
Stephanie, you know I'm going to help you. She's one of my older clients.
Well, I'm telling you, West Virginia's having issues over there. I'm telling you. I live right here.
I warned them.
You'll perch your ass right
I
at the
warned
border.
them. I said that because of it's an election year, that things were going to get really bad and they were going to start taking kids left and right, and it's going to be in a rush. And that's exactly what happened. It did it last time.
Oh yeah, they're ramping right now. They got 20 more days to get as many kids in their freaking posse as they can.
Yep.
And I warned them. I put it I pinned it to every West Virginia Facebook site that I could find, because I knew this was going to happen. I was getting at least 2 to 3 new clients every single day last time. It was crazy.
Reform is coming. I truly believe that in my gut. I'm telling you, just like I knew Trump was going to win 2 years ago. And just like I knew Biden was going to win against Trump, and everybody said, oh, Tiffany, you're crazy. You just hate Trump. I said, no, just look around you. Oh, wow.
Stephanie, it could literally be because they could have found out that I'm your advocate. They do not like me.
Well, if she's got a court order, she can actually file a motion to show cause, because if she's got court order visitation and they are not giving her visits, DPS is no different than anybody else. She can file a motion to show cause, and they have to explain to the judge why she can't have visits.
Because you know what the 6 months of no contact does, right?
Yeah, it means abandonment.
It's abandonment. Yep. Even though that CPS is doing it to them.
Yep. That's what they did to me. Same thing. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But they do it and they get away with it. So.
Yep.
That's why that information right there, that's worth $1,500 out of a law firm right there. So everybody that can help, you know, what Danny's helped out with and done things for, or do whatever, think about what that would have just been worth to you. Just that little piece of information right there.
And they wouldn't even have told you the truth.
Right. You just said, screw you.
And I'm going to say it again because, and I'll say this again because people get freaked out when they hear TPR. When you get your TPR, that's a termination of parental rights. On the day that judge signs that order, you have 2 years to overturn it.
That's 24 months.
Mm-hmm. 24 months.
And if you can prove fraud in the court, you can rule 60 it up to Supreme Court easy enough.
I'll send you what.
So it's really hard to get the judge.
Mm-hmm. Look for my email, Spanny. You see that private chat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll tell you if I get anything on my side.
Okay, and I'll keep you posted from this side too. And then, just
Yeah.
tomorrow or whatever. Already?
Yeah.
What time? How far away are you? How many hours do you? What day is it in time?
PM here.
She's 4 hours behind us.
4 hours behind.
Yeah, it's 4 p.m. here.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is usually the time I call Tiffany for my last time around because she goes to bed after this.
Gotcha. All right, guys.
Because we lost her rights, but she hasn't received any paperwork.
Then they haven't terminated her rights. Look, before we go, Darren, I just want people to understand this. And I told Darren to do this. If they say that they have terminated your rights, you file for a brand new birth certificate. And if it comes back to you, that means that child has not been adopted yet, or your rights haven't been terminated. Because if any of those happen, the social security name and the name of the child, the last name of the child, will have been changed.
Oh, also, anybody that has children that have not been adopted but have lost their rights, there is a second chance law, and I have it posted in Wicked Warriors files. Once every 6 months after a year of termination, so your rights have been terminated for a year, okay? If you know that child has not been adopted yet, you can sue for custody to get that child back once every 6 months. Now, this is really important because it's for everybody. The law is there. I believe it was enacted. I have to look that up again later. But you guys should really try for that.
Yeah, they have it in Maine too. But here's their downfall, and I don't want to dishearten anybody. If you do choose that, I know in the state of Maine anyway, CPS will stay in your lives until the child has been 18. And you don't get your. How is it, Spanny? They don't give you. You have to adopt your kid back, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yep. You literally have to adopt your own child.
Right. It's really fun.
Ridiculous.
You're basically suing them for custody like you would a divorced husband or wife.
Right.
Well, that's what they do. That's what they do to us when they bring our asses into court. They sue us for custody.
Yeah. All right, guys.
The state has no business in our business, period.
That's damn right they don't.
Yeah.
Andy, I don't know where you went.
Tiff and the Punisher rising to the call.
I didn't mean to get you out.
Fighting for the children, standing tall. Constitution in hand, we're ready to brawl. Rights worth protecting for one and all. From the podcast waves to every home, teaching us the power to stand alone. Legal knowledge keeps us in the zone. Fight against CPS so fiercely shown. Stand up USA, don't let them fall. Fighting for our kids, answering the call. Our devotion strong, we won't stall. Freedom's light will shine proud for all. across this great land. Voices united, ready to withstand. From city streets to the desert sand, together we'll take bold stand. Each parent's heart beats brave and true, following the path paved red, white, blue. Armed with rights, we'll push on through for the innocent lives we must rescue. Stand up, USA, don't let them fall. Fighting for our kids, answering the call. Our devotion strong, we won't stall. Freedom's light will shine proud for all. Beats brave and true, following the path paved red, white, blue. Armed with rights, we'll push on through for the innocent lives we must rescue. Stand up, USA, don't let them fall. Fighting for our kids, answering the call. Our devotion strong, we won't stall. Freedom's light will shine proud for all.